The Niagara Movement was a black civil rights organization founded by W.E. Du Bois and William Monroe Trotter. This organization was founded in 1905 and ended by 1909. W.E. Du Bois was born on February 23, 1868, in Great Barrington, Massachusetts. While growing up in a mostly white American town, Du Bois identified himself as mulatto, but freely attended school with whites and was enthusiastically supported in his academic studies by his white teachers. In 1885, he moved to Nashville, Tennessee to attend Fisk University. It was there that he first encountered Jim Crow laws. For the first time, he began analyzing the deep troubles of American racism. After earning his bachelor's degree at Fisk, Du Bois entered Harvard University and graduated with his Ph.D. He paid his way with money from summer jobs, scholarships, and loans from his friends. Shortly after graduating, Du Bois became a professor at Atlanta University. In 1903, Du Bois published one of his most infamous pieces of work, The Souls of Black Folk, which was a collection of 14 essays about the lives of African Americans during segregation. Du Bois was strongly against Booker T. Washington's ideologies on accommodation and Atlanta Exposition Address, which stated that African Americans should learn agricultural education to gain acceptance and equality from white people. This led him to form a group with people who had the same mindset. In February of 1905, Du Bois secretly met with other black men to discuss the ideas of a movement. This group included a man named William Trotter. In July of 1905, Du Bois and Trotter invited 59 educated black men to discuss the rights of African Americans in the U.S. These men were also against Booker T. Washington's accommodation policies. No hotel in America would give them a room, so on July 11th through 14th of 1905, the group met on the Canadian side of Niagara Falls in Buffalo, New York, which is how they got their name, the Niagara Movement. Only 29 out of the 59 that were invited showed up to the meeting. They divided the work by state to work with congressmen to pursue things like education programs. During the first meeting, Du Bois and Trotter wrote the Declaration of Principles, part of which stated, "We refuse to allow the impression to remain that the Negro American assents to inferiority is submissive under oppression and apologetic before insults." After the first meeting, the group worked in communities to advocate for civil justice. The Niagara Movement attempted to bring about legal change addressing the issues of crime, economics, religion, health, and education. The movement stood apart from other black organizations at the time because of its power and unequivocal demand for equal rights. The Niagara Movement forcefully demanded equal economic and education opportunity as well as the vote for black men and women. Members of the Niagara Movement sent a powerful message to the entire country through their disapproval of racial discrimination and the call for an end to segregation. While the movement had grown to include 170 members in 34 states by 1906, it also encountered difficulties. Du Bois supported the inclusion of women in the movement. William Trotter did not. Trotter left the movement in 1908 to start his own group, the Negro American Political League. The Niagara Movement met annually every year up until 1908. In that year, a major race riot broke out in Springfield, Illinois. 8 blacks were killed and over 2,000 African Americans fled the city. This was the first northern race riot in 4 decades. And because this was the hometown of Abraham Lincoln, members of the Niagara Movement felt there needed to be a more powerful interracial organization to combat racism. And out of this concern grew the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, also known as the NAACP. By the end of 1909, chapter activities continued to decrease. Memberships dropped and the organization received no significant press. This was the ending of the Niagara Movement. The Niagara Movement was a very influential group during the Civil Rights era. It led to the foundation of the NAACP that continued the work of the Niagara Movement for abolishing segregation and discrimination and ensuring African Americans their constitutional rights.